Yeah, I like this dam. It's challenging, and with that comes a great reward when you catch good fish. There's some massive fish in here. I've managed to catch a 10.5 pound rainbow, a 10 pound rainbow, a couple of browns in the 8 to 8.5 pound range, and quite close to Sydney. That's excellent fishing. That's excellent fishing anywhere, to be honest. And yeah, some days it throws a curveball at you and you just think you've worked it out, and then the next day you don't catch anything. Like, it's yeah, it's good to challenge yourself, and I think this place has a lot of that.
Don't just go fishing, go hunting underwater. With Raymarine's superior high-fidelity CHIRP sonar vision, you'll never look at fishing the same again. You're already the predator above the water. Now go find your prey below it. Raymarine. Visit raymarine.com to get in on the action.
Oh, yeah, I think Thompson's Creek Dam is a bit of a funny beast. Today, I think it's shown some of its true colours. It can be really windy. Sometimes you think there's nowhere to start and you just end up walking around the whole lake, and we've almost done an entire lap today. So yeah, I think plenty of people struggle with lake fishing because it's just a big expanse of water, and they often think, you know, where do I start? Where would the fish be? Today we've been looking for fish and often caught fish where we've seen them. So I generally encourage people just to have a look around, see if you can see some fish close in the shallows. But at the same time, I think you've got to be confident in certain areas and stick with it too. A lake has structure just as much as a river might too, and we've been looking off drop-offs. You know, fish feel safe there, they can cruise and look for food. This time of year we've been looking in gravelly sort of areas because the fish tend to be looking for somewhere that imitates an area they may spawn. Yeah, I guess if it's blowing an absolute gale, just get out of the wind too. If you can't cast in it, don't struggle all day in those places. It's great that the water's very clear here. That also comes with a few challenges. I guess when we're fly fishing, I tend to fish quite small flies, like size 14, 16, even 18. And that's actually quite tiny. That's a very small fly. Along with that, we usually fish fluorocarbon line. Today, we've struggled a little bit to find too many fish, so I've been fishing 5X, 5 pound. If there's a lot of fish and I'm starting to get broken off, then I might fish 7 pound. There's no point hooking up and breaking off all day too if you're fishing too light. But yeah, I think fluorocarbon is a good start as well, and some quality fluorocarbon that's actually quite thin will give you a better bite rate as well. And today, most of my fishing's just been a floating line, about a 10-foot leader. And at the moment I've got 2 flies on here, a little dropper, 1 nymph, and I've got a little glow bug down the bottom. Sometimes I might have 3 nymphs. If it's not working, I just like to change it up. I've probably tried 10 different flies today, and we've eventually hooked some fish and landed a couple. But yeah, I think plenty of people just stick at the one thing, and at the end of the day they realise they didn't have a single take. Try different options.
Unexpectedly compact, uncompromising reliability, unbelievably fuel efficient, unbridled power. Mercury has delivered a new range of 75 to 115 horsepower 4-stroke outboards, unlike anything the world has ever seen. Unthink everything you know about 4-stroke.
Look, I think technology as far as fishing gear, I think, has changed a lot since I first started fishing Thompson's Creek Dam. I mean, braid was only very early in its infancy on the fishing scene. So I mean, braids have come a long way. You know, rods, modern rods are just so much better than what they were even 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Soft plastics, you know, the amount and the R&D that goes into them, and just what you can do with them these days. I think anglers are educated a lot more. So they've probably been some of the bigger changes as far as guys coming to Thompsons Creek Dam to fish for trout. There's probably a little bit more pressure these days, so you do have to think a little bit more about how you approach your fishing and what you do here. You know, like we discussed with you, the clear water, bright sunshine. I mean, generally I'll look for a shitty day, cloudy conditions, low light levels, early morning, late afternoon, and just really concentrate on those finesse techniques. I think the brim guys have really changed things as far as the fishery goes up here. You know, they fish a lot of finesse tactics down in the salt water, which is quite often very clear. Those guys have come up here and they've really kicked some goals and caught a lot of fish, a lot of trout on soft plastics, and I think that's probably been a big change in the last 10 years or so. I think one of the key factors lure fishing here in this lake is to downsize everything. So downsize your leaders, downsize your line, downsize the lures that you use. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes. Guys come up here and they fish probably a little bit too heavy and a little bit too big, and that's probably one of the biggest mistakes. Yeah, just slow rolling, a little 3-inch shad tail, OSP shad tail. Probably the main difference with this setup, I suppose, is the hidden weight on the hook, so that the weight is actually down in the plastic. So you push that plastic up over the hook, and the weight is hidden inside the plastic. So it's just that little bit of extra finesse in the clear water just makes the lure just that little bit smaller, and I think that sometimes makes a difference.